In a week where Arsenal demolished PSV 7-1 in the Champions League and Manchester United struggled to have an equalizer against Real Sociedad, they clashed in the EPL. The team without forwards and the team that had no team had a 1-1 draw. We're going to be reviewing this game and also talking about the key points from the midweek and also some big clubs like Liverpool winning the Premier League. All of that we'll be discussing in today's episode. Welcome back to ROP. Run of Play podcast. Please press like, subscribe if you're new or yet to do so. I'm one of your hosts, Dr. Toes, and I'm joined as usual with the panel. We've got Johnny Boy, fellow Arsenal fan. How are you feeling today, my guy?
I'm very fine. I'm very fine. I'm happy for the midweek win, but then disappointed with the draw, even though I expected the ball. We move on.
Yeah, we move. We also have the man that anytime that he's happy about United, he wears his jersey. Mr. Judy Judah. How are you feeling today?
I'm actually indifferent, not too happy, but I'm just happy that Arsenal did not get 3 points. So I feel like Arsenal was a struggling team today. That's all I can say.
I'm glad you repeat your name a bit when you said it. All right. We also have, as usual, our moderator, Mr. Sheunti. Once upon a time, Ten Hag defender, but now Mr. Indifferent with Amorim. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, no, I'm glad that Arsenal doesn't get to you guys don't get to take 3 points from this. I'm disappointed that we didn't win. I think we could have won the game. But yeah, nah, the story is still the same. The jury is out for me. Like for the first 30, 35, 40 minutes of the game, I was really irritated with what I was seeing. So, I'm glad we didn't lose,
Yes.
but at the same time, nothing has really changed.
And also, we have a special guest, our very first special guest on the play today. He is actually the Amorim defender on the panel today. Please welcome DJ El Pablo. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, I'm feeling pumped and positive. Didn't like the first half, and it has always been it has always been like this. We've always had a different first half and then a more energetic second half. And I was pretty impressed with our defending in the first half, but then I expected us to do better with our transition play.
How are you feeling?
And in the end, I feel like we have to move on to the next one, as Amorim always says. Move on to the next one, on to next Real Sociedad on Thursday. So
yeah, as he always says, they can say this. Anyways, I'm going to hand over to Mr. Sheunti. I don't know if he has all these tricky questions as usual to start with.
The only way place to start with is with Amorim now, right? Because coming into the game, he said he wants us to survive. That was how he talked about the game, right? That we need to survive the game. And I'm wondering, like, what kind of manager is that? Like, what type of idea are you putting into the minds of your players, right? That okay, guys, there really isn't hope, but like survival is our intent coming out of this. So I guess the first question would be to Jancy, like, is this what you expected? Are you okay with these results? Is this exactly how you thought it was going to turn out? Do you think we could have actually like stolen the victory at the end?
that's
For me, I feel like the expectation into the game was high. Arsenal is going to win, right? They coming from 7-1, they needed a win also to chase Liverpool and cut down the deficit. Mind you, has been plagued with extra injuries right now. That's more injuries than Arsenal. You just got Martinelli back. We've not gotten anybody back. Rather, we are getting more people injured. So I felt like we probably would have lost the game, but I expected Man U to play what they play, sit and defend. I was skeptical about how we would transition, but thank God Garnacho and Bruno stepped up. If both of them they step up, it would have been the usual Man U, and most likely would have considered a goal. But they stepped up in the game. Mazraoui had a rough first half, second half he stepped up also. So I feel like with the players we have right now and the system he wants to play, I don't see I'm not that much optimistic of a win against a big team. It's more like whatever I see in the game is what I can take. I take it like that because that's Amorim for you, like the system and the players. Me, I just feel like I always say, The big teams, this pattern work, but against the small teams now, we struggle to score, and that's also causing problem to our players lacking confidence, like strikers lacking confidence to shoot. Like we could have buried the game today, and we'll be having this argument with these guys.
I'm curious to hear from the Amorim defender, quote unquote, right? DJ Pablo, because I thought it was crazy for Amorim to come into this game basically surrendering the initiative to Arsenal. I would imagine that like his objective or his goal as a manager is to get the players to an extent to believe the impossible, right? Because all of us as fans can maybe say it's a done deal. There's no chance. But the players themselves need to believe. Do you think there's because Bruno scored a fantastic free kick, right? Do you think it's fair for us to attribute this to a game plan, or are we just lucky basically that Arsenal are shit?
Um, so basically, I'll take it from the perspective of the fact that Ruben Amorim at some point took some. I'm going back in history. Did internship under
Jose.
Jose Mourinho, and I could take this from Mourinho's playbook. And I think that's the same with most Portuguese managers. I had to do a little bit of research about how Portuguese managers react to games and stuff. If you look at it, it's the same for the current Wolves, Wolverhampton Wanderers manager. They they seed the victory. They tell you, man, you have control. You are, obviously, we all know, like from the eye test, Arsenal are a better team. So he had to, and the truth is, if he had said otherwise, the press will tag him as
Mm.
deluded. So what he did was tell the press what they wanted to hear. Oh, Man United are in the mud. Yes, we're in the mud. We just want to survive. Meanwhile, he might be telling the players in the changing room different because he already said it. And I'm going to go back to another quote because I follow all his press conferences. He said it that the players watch what happens in the media, they read what happens on social media, but he has told them to block it off, block it out, that he is the one telling them what they should do and how they should play. The same thing when he came to defending Bruno Fernandes against Roy Keane. He said the same thing. I am the manager and it's my opinion that matters or my opinion that counts. So he's playing that Mourinho playbook. He's taking a
All right.
script from Mourinho's playbook to say, oh, media, this is what you want to hear. Take it. Tell you the truth, straight facts. Oh, we are bad. We are very bad. We are the worst team in Man United history. And then when he now comes to the changing room, he now tells them what he wants them
So
to do. Next thing if you watch, just to end with this, if you watch the commentary, you will see that they said, oh, Garnacho plays better on the left hand side. Why did Amorim put him on the right hand side? Oh, now they are beginning to switch. You will see that commentators are trying to analyze Man United formation instead of focusing on the game. They say, oh, he has switched to Xerxes. No, he has switched to more. Bro, Amorim's formation is a fluid front three. They change anytime. So he's just taking a line from Mourinho's playbook.
the,
That's all
the
I
the
can say.
problem I think with that is that like not only are the commentators confused, like the players themselves are confused, the fans that are watching basically are confused, and we can see it, right? So like where the rubber meets the road, if you ask me, is when in the game I'm seeing the ball go from Mazraoui to Delete to Leniero. Leniero carries it out for a throw in, or Mazraoui to Delete to Leniero, then he passes it to Dalot and it goes out for a throw in, or they pass.
So that formation that style of play you're talking about is called the horseshoe formation, horseshoe style, and that's basically just passing it across. And you will see if you check our stats, you see that the center backs have almost the most touches in the game because they pass it across each other like that. I watched a guy on YouTube. His name is AJ
I know it's
Analysis.
generous, yeah.
He talked about yeah. Now he talked about how Amorim's system will work eventually, and that involves the goalkeeper being the last centre back. You see Arsenal do it a lot. The goalkeeper being one of the centre backs. So instead of making it
Well, the
an
Arsenal
out
is
and out,
just an example for everybody. But anyways, yeah, carry on.
yeah.
Sorry to
So
interrupt.
you see like an out and out back three. Instead of having an out and out back three, you now have an out and out back four with the goalkeeper as the fourth man, and then which will now make instead of Bruno coming back as the back four as one of the back four, you will now go up and be the receiver, and then we'll now have players not receiving balls back to goal. I mean back to goal instead they'll be facing forward
Right.
or on the
Like
half turn.
like like all that sounds like all well and good, right? And I want to pass it on to like the Arsenal
Yeah.
guys here from them a bit, but like all I'll say about that is Ten Hag could have explained to you what he was trying to do. Everybody has like the intent, but the rubber again, like I said, meets the road when in a game against Arsenal, you're spending 50% of the possession between the centre backs. And when it goes back to the keeper, he kicks it out for a throw in and we're under pressure basically immediately. But speaking of keepers, like Dr. Toes, how do you guys rate like Raya and like his superhero basically antics today? Um um
Well, Raya was fantastic. He was excellent, and everyone will agree that he was the man of the match for Arsenal. But I still want to talk about Amorim, guys. You guys are not going to run away from it because because I think that Amorim is doing what another international did, aka Antonio Conte did at Tottenham. He came to Tottenham and realized that this job is not for me. So started saying so many things in the press to get himself fired because nobody is good. How can you say before a Europa League game and say nothing can save our season? Or if the press even trying to throw you a bone to say, is it going to be something like Arteta, like you have time, you kind of you start poor, but then you change it when your players come. It's like no, I'm not going to be here. I don't have that time. Obviously, every manager, even the ones that know that are under pressure, they'll still like to pretend to the press that the board has their
Dr.
back.
Toes,
Nobody is coming out to say in public that no, I'm going to
you
be
make
sacked. So to me,
you make an excellent point,
he
right?
wants to be sacked. He wants to leave. He wants to leave because there's no way you be saying those things in the press and then you're saying to the players at the back. Obviously, Jose did all those kind of things, and what happens to Jose at the end? He loses the dressing room
I don't think he wants to leave,
because
right? I don't think he wants to leave. I think it's worse than that, right?
that's what
It's
happened.
along the lines of what DJ Pablo was saying that like he has that same Mourinho complex, but it's a kind of delusion where like he wants to eat his cake and have it. Basically, he wants to hold his system, right? He wants to leave it to AJ Analysis and DJ Pablo and myself and Jude to talk constantly about the theory of what could be if you gave Amorim exactly everything that he needed, instead of him to do the work that we employ him to
Exactly.
do, which is to win games basically on a week to week basis. So like he wants to be able to say, I am apart and separate from whatever these guys are doing, right? Don't judge me with what you're seeing on the pitch. Like he can do it for now. He has been successful in doing it. I don't know
But
how
it's
long
going
it
to
will
lose
last.
0. Your players
I actually don't think he wants to be sacked. I think he's just been honest, and
no,
he has always
no,
been honest
no.
from the first
He
day he
said he
started
said
the
we will
job.
suffer.
Remember, he told us
Ah,
we will suffer. We will need to. Do
Bro,
we
that's not
want
the
to
way to
win games,
motivate
or do we
motivate
want
your
to?
players. I
Do we
think
want a system to play? That's what he said. And at some point, they were trying to mimic him and said, "Oh, he's going to do the same he did in Lisbon." And he was like, "Lisbon players are different from the players at Man U." So
let me
he's
just let me
just being.
just remind people of what you guys were saying when they
But,
first came.
but we have
Sorry,
no
this is
hope.
this is first November. I came with
I
receipts.
can't
This is
believe I
first
can't believe
November,
nice,
I
nice.
can't believe you're doing this.
Keep
2024.
going, keep going.
Episode 16
Bring
of
it.
Run of Play podcast in the original in the pod of Run of Play YouTube
Mhm.
channel as Run of Play pod. You can subscribe as well. This is my United fans. Now, the truth about it now, what do you guys expect from me as United fans? Well, me personally, I am hoping that like United fans have learned the lesson that a manager needs time because everything that's going on with Maresca, with all these guys, we've seen it before. We've seen it before. We've seen a manager come in and be great in the first 2 months. We've seen a manager come in and struggle in the beginning period. We've seen ups, we've seen downs, we've seen every which way. We've seen all the different types of patterns, right? It happens the exact same way every single time, where a manager comes in, there's new manager bounce. He asks for some players in the summer. He doesn't get the players that he wants. The squad starts to struggle. Injuries affect performance. He gets sacked. Rinse and repeat, right? So hopefully this time we can break the cycle. First thing we need to do to break the cycle, back the manager unconditionally. That's number one. Back
No,
unconditionally. That's
okay,
number
okay,
one.
Toast,
I have
this is INEC,
I have
I'm
two
this is
more
backing.
INEC
clips.
behavior.
I'm backing this manager.
This is
I
INEC
have two
behavior
more clips.
because when I said back to managers
Two
here,
more
I
Prepared.
was
clips.
talking about the
You prepared
Glazers
for this.
or
Two
I was
more
talking
clips.
about the Glazers or Ineos.
The following week, episode 18, 8th of November, on the same at Run of Play Pod. This is Jude speaking.
Finally, they sack our chairman Ten Hag, and we have a new manager, and the whole world gathered together yesterday to watch the man's audition, basically versus the current best coach in the world. First question, Jude. As a United fan, right? Is there anything we should be taking from what we saw yesterday, sporting 4-1 versus City? What you've heard from Amorim so far? Anything to take, or we should just wait for him to start? We have to take a lot. I think the mentality is there, the style of play is there. So now it's even in sporting. The players themselves would have probably watched the game, right? Let's see who is coming. Okay, against Man City, and I think they probably will be telling themselves that they need a lot. They will need to do a lot of work. Like for almost the 90 minutes, those guys were running around. Sporting. Yeah, like blocking Man City and playing their own game.
Right. Finally, so why are your players not running around? This is exactly 5 months since that time. Why are you guys tone changed?
No.
Like, what happened?
My tone hasn't changed.
My tone hasn't changed.
My tone is the same from beginning.
The players have been shit. So
my tone is
all your players cannot be shit. Come on. All your players cannot be shit.
If you have 7 that are shit, including Onana,
we don't have
goalie. So what else?
So are you telling me 7 of your starting 11 are shit? Is that what you're telling me?
Can I say something?
Please go and look at our attacking level.
Can I say
our striker is one of the worst? Is probably the worst striker in
yeah,
Premier
but you
League
said,
right now.
Jude, you were saying when Amorim comes, your players will start working. Your players will start working hard.
They have to work.
He said it in his first press conference.
They are not working. It's a personal.
We have to run like
mad dogs. 7 of your starting level cannot be bad.
Wait, Johnny Boy, let's flesh out that argument that you're making, right? Because I do agree with you. We'll pass it on to DJ Pablo and Jude to hear the other side, but go ahead, Johnny Boy. Our players can be as bad as Amorim and these guys are suggesting.
Your players cannot be as bad as Amorim is making them look like. For instance, Mazraoui is a good player. We all can agree on that. Delhi is a good player. Zexi is a good player because it's not United that were in for Zexi. Other big teams, Juventus, they were in for him. So
he's still one of the highest goal scorers as well, to be fair.
There must be something in Zexi for mine to go for him.
I'm glad you are using the word good, not excellent. So let's keep going.
Are we changing? How many players are excellent in the world? Right? Excellent is that world class.
Excellent. How many players are like, if they're good, Bayern Munich is a better team than Man U. Bayern Munich will sell them. Bayern will sell them if they are that good as you want to rate them.
But Zexi was sold as a teenager, not as a. It's like Matista.
Excellent is a big word. There are very few excellent players in the world, so let's not talk about excellent.
They are not even. But what you are looking at, those 2 guys are not even my main problem. My main problem is Onana and what's his name, Dallo.
No, but
it changed from 7 to 2.
But Onana isn't that bad to me. Onana is not one of my problem.
Please, I prefer the guy. We even want them to call
I don't want the guy back.
But when the guy was there, you guys were saying
Okay, wait.
If you guys insist on having this Amorim argument, right? Let's actually have it, right? Because this I think is the number one tension. And DJ Pablo, like let's say for me in the sense that like when we sacked Ten Hag, the premise for sacking Ten Hag, just come on fashion on paper, the premise for getting rid of Ten Hag is that this manager is failing to get the best out of the players that he has available to him. Like at a basic level, right? So we need to get a different manager that can do better. Okay, this manager comes and says, my idea for doing better is to change the formation from what you guys have been doing before to a whole new system, right? This system has only been done once in the modern contemporary history of the Premier League with Antonio Conte and with some exceptionally talented, successful in terms of like winning the league with Conte and with some exceptionally talented players, lightning struck basically in the bottle what they had in that Chelsea team that year. So Amorim comes, changes the system basically entirely. Now we don't know if any of the players that we have are good enough to play not as footballers, but to play specifically the new way that Amorim wants to play, right? So instead of wingers like we had before, we now want number 10s that are inside forwards. Basically, instead of regular full backs, we now have wing backs. Instead of 2 center backs, we have 3. we're playing two number 10s. He's playing a rectangle. No, it's a triangle. No, it's an octagon, right? Basically, it's like you said, very fluid. Um, um,
Hmm.
at what like how do you balance the tension basically between whatever idea that Amorim has in his head and the reality of the Premier League, right? So you would
Okay.
expect the manager tactically to be able to adapt to the opposition that he's facing, the players that he has available to him, right? We can't just drive off a cliff like just because you want to follow the principle basically like to the end. So at what point or how do you balance basically those two seemingly like competing ideas?
Okay. So basically, like you said, you started with Ten Hag, right? Now, Ten Hag's, we're just going to backtrack a little bit. Ten Hag's first season, he was going to start the whole Ajax style of play, start from the back, just kind of like play out from the back. We crashed to Brighton and Brentford like within the blink of an eye. And then he became pragmatic. I'm sure Ruben Amorim is smart enough to have reviewed Ten Hag's
Mhm.
first season and understood what's up.
He believes
Then
in himself.
second season, Ten Hag wanted to start the same Ajax style of play because when they brought Ten Hag, they say, okay, we see Ajax style of play 4-3-3, we like it. We're tired of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4-2-3-1 and all of the whole thing with Ragnick playing 4-2-2-2 and all of that. Now we want this Ten Hag style of play. Ten Hag comes and changes it up and says, "Oh, this Premier League is too hard. I'm going to change the style of play and I'm going to be more pragmatic." Went back to the 4-2-3-1 and we started winning games. And he won games for the now. The next season, which is the last season, which we now signed five new players, system signings, not really Ten Hag signings. Ten Hag favored them, but they were all system signings. Brought them and then Ten Hag started playing them. Joshua got a goal in first half in the first game against Fulham, and it was like, okay, we have something is happening. We can see patterns of play. In fact, from preseason, we were saying, oh, we are seeing patterns of play now. We're seeing player. In fact, bringing Van Nistelrooy,
Mhm.
everything is going to Van Akke is going to make everything work out, and he's going to be the. In fact, you started hearing the press analyzing and saying, oh, he's going to be the mediator between the this and the that, and blah 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 blah. I was back in Ten Hag. I wanted him to turn it around. The season started really poorly, and I can expect the knee jerk reaction because obviously Ten Hag was Amorim was the hottest prospect. He was being hunted by Man City and Liverpool,
And
and
Chelsea.
trust me, if um if even Arsenal too was linked with Arsenal. Now, if Man City had let go, or what's his name, his rumor now,
Mhm.
obviously, right? So if Man City had let go of Pep Guardiola, it would have been Amorim. And trust me, if Amorim gets this Man City side with the players they have, because obviously you can tell that Pep Guardiola plays a hybrid 3-4-3, 4-4-2, flat back four, like John Stones playing mid and part of the back three with Vardiol playing left-sided centre.
You are a
If
real
he
Amorim
cut
defender.
this if he cut this Man City side, he would smoke the league with the Man City. But obviously, Man United didn't want to wait for the end of the season. They told him it's now or never, right? And he had to accept the job. And to accept a job mid-season when we're having a bad run of games, even though Van Nistelrooy helped us steady the ship, then he now came on. Is for me, I wouldn't accept it for a young manager who is just 39 years old to just come mid-season and then just expect that change that he's going to bring will now work. Even
Sorry,
when
sorry.
we're
Brighton manager is actually the young manager. He's 32 years old. You can't start
yeah,
saying
but
Amorim at 39 is a young
Brighton
manager.
manager has had
Brighton
a
manager
couple of
has
preseasons. He
he
has
has
had a
worked
couple of
miracles.
preseasons. Ruben,
I'm sorry. Also to counter that, Oliver Glasner Crystal Palace came in last in towards the
towards the
end,
end,
and
not not middle,
there, there was a good and great manager
Amorim
bounce.
wasn't
not
in the middle
middle.
of the season now, technically, right? And I guess the
November.
question is
Exactly.
November
You
is
know,
how many
like
like two
why
We
is
like
played
he
more
two
here?
than 10
positive
games.
split.
What did we bring him here
We've
to
played more
do?
than 10 games. Now, they brought him to say, okay, you know what? We like your style of play and we want you to implement your style of play on this Man United squad. I'm sure he must have said, this squad is not built for 3-4-3. I'm going to have to change things
So
around.
why is he playing it then? Why is he playing it then? That's the question.
He said he's not going to play. He's not going to change his style of. He's seen how Ten Hag fared. He said, "What's the use of being pragmatic now? And next year we'll be back in this same
No,
situation."
that's not
Because
even the
truth is,
issue
the
now,
player,
right? Two for two is not the issue, and I think
yeah,
what's really making me sad about Amorim, and I think unlike you and Jude, my own tune has changed because what I was looking for from the manager was that's
You're
that
not
X
getting.
factor, the executive side of decision
Mhm.
making, right? As a manager, so don't play Hoylon for 7 games straight when he's giving you 0/10 performances, like back to back to back to back consistently. What are you doing, right? Don't
Mhm.
play Dalo for 7 games straight when he's giving you 0/10 performances back to back to back. Like, what are you doing, right? Don't in a game wait till the 80th minute basically to make a sub like this game today, essentially. Waited. We're watching us now. We're watching us lose control of the initial spark we had in the second half. It was obvious that Ericsson was out of the game. We clearly needed some legs. Why did you wait till Arsenal scored basically to make a substitution? So I'm looking at the manager make choices. I'm looking at the kind of things that he says. That thing that he said about this being the worst team in United's history. This posture that he has taken.
But he
He
backtracked on
backtracked
it
on
by
it now
saying
because
that he
he
must
was
have
a
reacted
messiah.
out of
Yeah, when they
emotion.
saw what people, yeah.
No, he says out of emotions. That was what he said. He reacted. He's a young manager. He
That
says
is
he
what I'm
reacted out
saying
of
is
emotions.
you're saying it's honest at the same time saying he's saying it to the press one time and saying to players another thing.
He's saying what he wants. He's saying what he wants the press to hear. The press wants
No,
him to be
he's saying
enraged. They want.
he's honest. He told you guys that Europa League is not going to save you. So now against Sociedad during midweek, your next midweek, how do you expect the players to react? If the
No,
players
the
already
players.
know the
We're
manager
going to win
doesn't
that
think
game.
we are going to do anything.
Now we're going to win the game. Trust me. Rest of that. Trust me. We're going to win the game. Look at the two.
He's just doing what modern day managers do. They reduce the expectation of the club so that when they fail, they'll be like, "Oh, we said it ahead of time, so
Nah,
that you guys are not going." That's
nah.
what the heck is. That's what Amorim is doing. So when you guys go out of Europa League, you'll be like, "Okay, well, I did say earlier that we had no chance of winning it." So now the fans be like, "Oh, well,
I
he did
mean,
say that. That's
Jude,
fine." But then,
Ruben Amorim
come on.
knows. Ruben Amorim knows the strength of this squad, and that's why he's placing the squad where he knows. Because, like I said, system signing.
Which is what I'm saying. So he's reducing the expectation of the club. Basically, that's what he's doing. He's reducing the expectation because he feels the players are not
Go
good
on,
enough,
Johnny
isn't
boy.
it? That's
I
what he's
think
doing.
it's all about, for me, I feel it's all about the objective that he
Exactly.
has. The objective he has is to build a system.
No,
And
no.
what
From the
he's
last
doing,
press conference, he doesn't think he has
No,
an
you did, that
objective.
means that
no,
means you
no.
He
didn't
doesn't
watch.
think
that's
he
what
You
he
has
didn't,
has
you
been
didn't
in
said.
the
watch.
He
The,
wants to
PSV
be
a
the
long time.
system.
you didn't
He
watch
hasn't.
the end
Please
of the
carry on.
press.
Yeah.
You didn't watch the end of
So
the press
he's building a
conference. That's why.
system. And that system now, what he's trying to do is, I'm exposing the positions that we have wrought. And there's nothing we can do right now until when we can be able to buy. And on top of that, we have injured players because Dalo wouldn't be playing
Ah,
if Ahmad was fit.
ah,
When
and
Ahmad
Dogo.
was when
Are you
Ahmad was
serious?
fit, Dalo
Ahmad
was
was
still
fit and he
playing.
was
But
playing.
No, no. Like
So
with
Ahmad
the
was fit
current,
and
No,
Dalo
no,
with
was
the
no.
current
playing.
Ahmad was playing right
with
wing
the
back.
current setup that we have
But
now,
Dalo was
I
playing.
don't think Dalo will be
I don't
playing
understand.
now
Yes,
We
if we
saw
had Ahmad
Dalo fit
right now.
several
Dalo,
times
I
and
don't
Ahmad
get
no,
fit
you
and
guys
Ahmad
under
was playing
football
number 10
managers.
now.
Look at
yeah,
it.
but we had no left
exactly.
back. We had
No,
no
that was
Dogo.
then. He was still trying things up.
Dogo has
Now
not played with Ahmad though.
he knows what he wants. You see, it will be like an interchangeable something between Dalo and what's his name? Dalo and
Mazraoui.
Mazraoui. If Mazraoui is down, Dalo comes in. That kind of stuff. If Mazraoui is not down, Mazraoui will probably start. Dalo playing that up front shows you that he can't do anything up front, and we know he can't. All he does is cover spaces. We already know that we were needing with him building the system. We knew that we needed a left wing back, and we went for Dogu. Although Dogu is not my first choice, but Dogu is what I feel like Manchester United the board needs to understand that we need to buy at least 2 or 3 already made players that can help,
Dogu was
or
playing.
like close to
Dalo was
already
still
made.
playing.
Because I was expecting them to go for the Inter Milan left wing
Bro,
back, but I don't think they
when
will
You can't buy
actually
it
do.
now.
bro,
He's not.
when we
Inter
bought
Milan going to
Too
sell it.
when we
expensive.
brought
Dimarco,
Dogu,
Dimarco.
At least having someone like that, Dogu now. The problem I'm having, like, if you watch the game against Sociedad, there are positions that you come right. Dogu has the energy, he has the athleticism to chase back and go forward, but he's still a young,
He
like,
was struggling in that game. He was
that's what I'm
struggling in
saying.
that game, and it's about the
There are
system.
positions that Dogu, Dogu, Mazraoui. Those 2 positions need you to be able to at least get a shot on target, because when you go forward, you will get a hit. You will get Dalo was before Mazraoui, before Ahmad got injured. You can see that Dalo used to be in that position, and Dalo would just balloon the ball.
Boom.
Like, I have to wait
Yeah,
for
no,
him to
but
the end of season. I'll wait for him to the end of season. If the board does not back him, if the board backs him and
no
he's
wait,
playing
Jude,
rubbish, that's when
no
I'm
That's
going
what
to
I
wait,
say,
want.
Jude,
No,
but
okay.
it
like
is
this
telling him
my,
he's
my issue is just that like when when Dogu came, Dogu's first game, we said we needed left back, Abi. We needed left back. We looked for left back, we looked for
Mm-hmm.
left back, we looked for left back. We brought left back, we played him at right back. Right? And then when they asked you about it,
Did you see the
when
press
Yeah,
when they
conference?
asked you about it,
Did you see the
he
press
said he
conference
said on
after
White
that?
Scouts, they said that Dogu can play on the right. I mean, come on, what are we doing here now? You say yeah, his building system.
No,
No,
but
wait,
so that he
but
left.
Are you
That he
are
no,
you
wait.
left.
finding
It's,
dude?
but he said it now.
The next game, he took Dogu. Yeah, have you seen Dogu play
no, he
right
said he
back?
said his
That's
building
what
He
he
took
said.
system.
Dogu.
He told
He
the press.
left.
He told the press, you guys wanted to see him on the left back, so we have played him on the left. He's telling
No,
them what
but
they
but,
want
but
to hear.
who is he
His
joking
system
with
was to
now?
work.
After 12 or
Patrick
He's
13
Dogo
joking with
losses,
you.
basically, like
Patrick
side by side on
Patrick
He's
the.
Dogo
joking
is
with
a
you.
left wing back, right? Patrick Dogo is a left wing back. Go back to Sporting Lisbon and track. I went and I was as you guys were talking, I was tracking his season in Sporting Lisbon. The same thing with Giovanni Quenda. He's a left-footed wing back. Played him on the right, and he's mirroring the same thing with Quenda. The same with Arsenal with Amad Diallo. The same thing. Plays as a wing back. He gets more touches on the ball. He presses up. He drops back. And when we didn't have Dogu, I'm sure if Ahmad was fit, we'll play
No,
Dogu
but
and
like
Ahmad as wing backs.
I can't take your
I'm
word for
sure.
it now, right? Because we had almost 15 games where Ahmad was fit and Dalo was fit, and we saw Dalo play the wingback position. People were begging. People were
Every
begging.
day.
Ahmad is better off
No,
in
I
10
mean,
now. We are better off having him in 10. He's our only goal scorer.
no, but
What do you
that's
want
what
him
I'm
to
saying.
do?
Everybody is confused, right? The fans are confused, the commentators are confused, the players are confused, the manager himself also is confused.
And
Basically,
rival fans are happy.
like nobody has a clue what they're doing, right? Because the manager fundamentally basically is cooking beans. He came in with all the swagger and all the confidence, right? And I'm telling you, the storm that he said we should prepare for, in his wildest dreams, in his worst nightmare, he did not expect it to be this bad.
Sheung, Sheung, if he had started preseason, how many games do you think he would have played in
As
preseason?
many as they play in preseason, I don't know, 6, 7, 5.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
like
saying.
all this.
So that's
Oh,
what
sorry,
he
guys. Keep on.
see.
Keep on.
Him,
was disappointed. That's your segment. Jesus Christ. United disappointed. So one of the most exciting young coaches basically in England to be a manager. Rejected. Liverpool rejected. Yes. That's not good enough for Liverpool. That's the story that Arsenal fans
I
rather
think
right now.
this is an
It's a
ambush.
fact. Now,
It's
but we
it.
already the paper. So were you there?
Well, we are coming. We are coming.
Were we not in this? Didn't you read the story? Were you there when they sent
We
Amorim?
warned them about it.
Exactly. Episode 19.
It's
Episode
okay.
19. One of the podcast.
Yeah, I was there.
Okay, let's
It's
get the
okay.
question.
What we understand from guys
As
that
bad
been in
as
office is that like Liverpool always had their mindset on meet like his fellow onboarding process. Yeah, tell Van Nistelrooy that I don't need the process. Amorim is coming in with his new staff. So I mean, look at those on a scale of 1 to 10. How scared are you? Zero scared. Zero scared. You guys have had better managers. You've had Jose Mourinho. I wasn't scared then. You had Louis Van Gaal. I wasn't scared then. Yeah, those are the two prominent ones that I can think of. You had Ole.
Basically, we're trying to say that you guys were saying we should be
They,
scared of Amorim. Now,
no,
showing your
let's
tone
And we
are
warned
let's
saying,
you
have it
guys.
now,
We
right?
warned you guys.
Let's have it look at two. So as bad
yes,
as all the complaints that we had, all of us we've had about Amorim today, despite how bad the team is, you guys still could
yes,
not do it. You needed your goalkeeper to be
yes.
man of the match. This United team has struggled
I'm
against
going.
Ipswich, Southampton,
Yes,
everybody
yes,
relegation side, but you people still manage to be our
hmm
wife. Even Everton.
yes. But
How does it feel? How does it
everybody
feel to
knows
be
that.
shackled, basically? You know, to, to,
It does not. I don't think you guys had anything to do with it. Um, Arsenal's problem has always been
mm.
Arsenal. Arsenal's problem is always Arsenal.
next year,
Arsenal's problem
next season,
What do you mean
is
by we didn't have
always
anything to do
Arsenal
with it
because
now?
next season.
we didn't have anything
Casemiro
because
was excellent.
first half
He
we could have
read read you guys.
first half we could have carried the game. Second half, you guys huffed and puffed. You are going to shout. You created chances. It's not 10-10. You create chances, but nothing happened with your
Mm.
chances. But we know that the
Uh,
people with the better gameplay there was still Arsenal. Like
where
you guys played only. You guys had periods in the game, like maybe 10 minutes in second half and the last in the last 5 minutes. That's what you guys had. But majority of the game was Arsenal. If we were clinical, we would have done our thing,
You
But
didn't have,
You
you
didn't
didn't have,
have
you didn't have that
gameplay
many
now.
clear cut chances
You're just
now.
passing ball. Just passing ball around.
again, that's why I said our problem is us. Our problem is us. And I was not expecting anything different anyway, because last week in the last episode, me and Johnny Boy predicted a 1-1 because we knew that we're not scoring goals. We had not scored goals in the last 3 games.
He just got
Compared to
7
But
now.
you
PSV.
scored 7.
Our tactics
You
don't
just
start
scored
again.
7.
That's what I'm saying. But again, two different competitions. We played this season. We've played better in the Champions League games compared to the Premier League games. So it's two different
Your,
competitions. I'm sure again in the midweek against PSV, we'll probably score another 3 or 4 goals because
your
they're not
manager
going
is
to they're not
counting
going to come back. They're not going to come and play 5-4-1. Champions League people don't play
So let me
5-4-1
see if I
like all
understand
these
you correctly,
EPL
Dr.
guys.
Tools. You're telling me that based on what you
Yes,
saw today from Arsenal against this
yes,
United team, right? This particular United team,
yes. Against Bruno
no,
Fernandes FC,
against Bruno
yes,
Fernandes FC, right? Based on what you saw today, how easy it was for
yes.
38-year-old Casemiro to read your gameplay and intercept your passes, for Delete to just casually be blocking stuff,
Wait,
for
wait.
for
Who are the
Garnacho to
good, right?
Garnacho to
Who
have
are
so
the
much
better pick
joy,
today? Rice
basically.
or your midfielders?
Oh, heaven, please, heaven.
So right.
Heaven, please,
So
for help.
based on what you saw
Heaven
today,
against Martinelli just coming back from injury.
Yeah,
It's not an excuse. It's
no, but
facts.
based on what you saw today, Dr. Toes,
It's
from your
facts.
Arsenal
They had to
team,
take away. They had to take out Dalo, didn't they?
Dalo
Dalo
had
was enjoying
Nwaneri
when
in his
Marino
pocket
was
now.
there. They brought Martinelli. They had to stop him. But he's a young boy. They brought a seasoned
Okay,
vet. Dalo and gone away. You know,
hey.
they had,
I guess
they had to
Martin,
bring young
I
energy.
guess
no,
he wasn't
see,
a young boy.
That's what I'm saying. Arsenal's problem
see
is Arsenal.
the question, Dr. Toes, the question for you, right, and Johnny
Go
Boy
on.
after is based on what you saw today, like what do you think is the positive basically for us now? Because if I were you guys, I'll be concerned, right?
No, there's no positive. We've been concerned
Yeah, thank
since
you.
the transfer window ended in the
Mm,
summer. We've been concerned
Yeah,
since
exactly.
then. I rated it 1.5. Johnny Boy rated it a 3. I thought we were going to finish the third in the league. Johnny Boy think we're going to finish, I think, second as well or something like that. I don't know. But
Second.
either ways, we've been concerned all season.
You're
It's a
using
miracle.
Amorim's
It's a
approach.
miracle that we're still here. The only reason why we're still here is because we have a better manager than Manchester
mm,
United. You guys are going to sign 5 more,
mm,
and your managers will still not be good
mm,
enough. Anyways, I hand over
mm,
on to guys. Have a shot. Have a shot. Anytime you hear trophy from Manchester United
mm.
fans, have a shot.
Please
Anyways, I hand over.
prepare your.
I don't know,
We need
Johnny
you
Boy.
to guard the honor well.
Johnny Boy,
Guard
I
the
don't know
honor well.
about Dr. Tozo, but to me, it looks like Ateta is under pressure. If you see him, all his conferences there, he's getting a bit more aggressive, right? Every single press conference,
At least
basically,
it's not calling us the worst team
is
in the world. It's not saying we don't have any
Arteta,
chances.
Arteta should have been under pressure since last season. So him being under pressure is not a new thing for me. He should have been under pressure since last season because he spent, I think it was last year he spent the 200 or something million, right? So that's when his pressure should have started. And then he bottled the league. He lost the league. This season, going into this season, just like Dr. T said, I didn't expect much from the team because when I saw the transfer window, that told me the ambition of him and the club at the same time. Because even if they give you 100 million to spend, a manager that is being smart will not go and buy another center back, knowing fully where your strong department is your defense. You go for an attacker. It's right since you got rid of almost all your attacking options. But the moment he did that, I knew that okay, fine. It's almost
And
as
you
if he
bring
was
in Osan
but
considering
Sterling.
wait,
you're considering the
but
league
wait, this is
whoever
my
was
issue
going to
with
win.
you
That's
guys, right? Because Ateta, like you guys have tried to say, very good manager, right? Was supposed to be revolutionizing
Very good
football.
coach. Very good coach.
Very good
Very good
coach,
coach.
very good coach. He was supposed to be
Mm.
taking Pep's idea
How?
of false nine to the next level. You guys scored 90 something goals, right? We did not hear what 99 goals, 99
no, but
goals,
even the
99
first,
goals,
that's the problem.
99
Even the
goals,
first night,
right? So you scored all those goals, and so Ateta rightly thought that coming into this season, your problem was that you needed to shore up the back so that away at Aston Villa, Ollie Watkins will not be destroying your defense anyhow. That was the next step that you needed to.
but that was not the issue.
That
That's
was
the
the
Yeah,
funny thing.
issue.
That was
exactly.
not the issue.
Even if
Aston Villa's game, our issue wasn't keeping Watkins away. It was scoring the goal because we had scored our goals first time. The,
Mm,
the game would have been over. That's what I'm saying.
plus, even if
That's all.
I
It's not
can
about
merge
coping.
I can merge Johnny Boy's point and your point together. Like even if you say yeah we scored lots of goals, but it's like you sold all the attackers and you didn't bring anyone else in. Like you got rid of
Like
Fabio Vieira, you got rid of Emil Smith Rowe, you got rid of Nelson. Like
got rid of
got
Nketiah.
rid of
because
Nketiah, like, and there's no one
defense
else
is
coming to replace. So even if your first team, I know last season we were lucky with injuries, but what's the guarantee that you
Injuries,
keep
yeah.
playing like that without injuries? So the gamble did not pay off, and anyone that knows, like, you might say you want taking a risk, but that is a stupid risk because even like I
That's why
but
said
you
now,
did.
he was
like I
probably
said in
looking
the
at
last
it from
episode
the
as well, like the style of play this season is telling because now we understand that a lot of our players are getting injured. It shows that from the start of the season, the medics would have also told him that your players are on red, so he adapted his style to kind of conserve energy, but we are still falling off. So if you knew that, why did you spend your money wisely to get your
And
squad
you
fit
knew
up?
that the Champions League he had more
That's
games
why he
against.
bought a defender now. He bought a
You
defender
don't
so
need
that
going to
in
this season. He
case
had more games
Saliba
against
gets
Champions
injured,
League.
he will cover
See your
up the
teeth. See
defense.
your teeth.
They said
Shut up.
defense is the best form of attack. So last season you guys were scoring lots of goals and conceding too. So he wanted to like
No, you
slim.
see, that's a myth. That's
He
a
was
myth.
trying to
Very
cover
confident.
up. But that's
Desi,
your coach
we had
now.
the second. We had the second best defense last season.
Or
So
maybe
stop
it's
saying
just
that.
Wenger's spirit hovering around
Stop,
the
stop
stadium.
saying. Stop saying that conceding shit was a lie.
He can
On that,
just be
that's
Wenger
why
now.
I give him credit for that. Defensively, he has made us solid.
Because now it
So
looks like
you have made us solid defensively. So now your target should be attack, and that's why I started him to give him
next
Thomas.
season, next season.
And I
He
don't
will
even
sign
next year I
Rashford.
don't trust him because
He will,
judging from what I've seen,
they
Arteta
got lots
doesn't
of
want
goods.
a pure nine. That's why we are believed to Sesko. Based on what I'm seeing,
Rashford is there.
Arsenal
They
doesn't.
come from
Arteta
the wing.
himself doesn't want a pure nine because when you get with a
You
pure
need
nine,
Just
Rashford more
say
than
for them.
a
100 million, we'll give you Rashford. From the wing,
pure
they
nine is
come
not
from the
going.
wing.
A pure nine is not going to track back. Like let's look at for Haaland now. For instance, Haaland doesn't really track back per se. I think that was even his striker to track back. So that's another problem Arteta is having. Like all your attackers are sooner already returning back. By the time it's time to attack, they're tired. See what Slot has done. This is Slot has come in. He has told Salah. He has told what's his name? Whether it's Gapo or
Or Jota or
Diaz
Diaz.
or Nunes or front. Don't bother about it. Don't track back too much.
But it's
Allow
because he
our
has
defenders.
confidence in the defense now. That's why he went to buy defenders.
Bro, what are you talking about? You mean Arteta is just a stubborn coach. That's what
Van Dijk is a stronger defender now. He's a better defender than Saliba.
But that's not the better defense than Liverpool last season and the previous season. So what are you talking about?
He's more
Van Dijk
confident
is
in his
one
own
player. We're
defense.
talking about
Your own
as
coach
the
is more
defensive unit.
confident in his
Arsenal is a
defense.
better defensive unit than Liverpool.
It's different perspective for different coach. Your coach is more confident in defense and not confident in midfield. He will
Yeah,
tell
but defense
Partey to
doesn't
play
win you
right
the
back.
league.
No, no,
Defense
but
doesn't win you
it's
games.
no, no.
Defense
The
doesn't win
saying
you
is
games.
actually that your defense wins you the league. That's the saying, right? That's
Yeah.
But you
no
need goals.
goals win
Or
you
without
games.
confidence.
But you need
Goals.
goals
The
to win
saying
games.
is that goals win
You
you
need goals
games,
to win
but
But
games.
defenses win you the league. Because it's a
Yeah, our defense is the
Yeah,
reason why we're still where we are.
exactly. That's
Because yeah,
exactly.
if our defense was not there, trust me, we'll probably be with you guys dragging 14 and 15.
Yeah,
You know.
because the moment Saka went down, what did I say? I said Arsenal is going to have problems scoring goals because it's obvious
no,
that at
no,
least Arsenal fans can see that it's not Odegaard that is actually our creative
no.
force. It's
Odegaard,
actually
Odegaard
Saka.
is your
It's not
creative
Odegaard
force
because
still, right?
Saka
But
has
like,
brought
but
No,
no.
I've been before. It's Saka FC.
Odegaard
Odegaard
is
is
the
still your
drive now.
creative
no,
force,
Saka
right?
is
no,
like
But Arsenal is
the
not the
finish
only
line.
team.
Brother, look,
no.
look, I just want no. This one I'm going to disagree now. Creating is assists. Saka is the one that gives us our
Yes,
assists.
So if
Saka is
he's
the one
going
that
yes.
to
Okay,
assist
no,
Saka,
Odegaard is just
if
I,
he's
holding
going to
them.
assist, I'm talking about the attack from start. Odegaard is like the person
he's your
that drives
quarterback.
that attack
Brother, no,
from start.
most of the key passes is from Trossard. We play wing play. We don't play central play. So it's like either Trossard or
Look,
Odegaard heights now. As in Odegaard heights a lot.
Odegaard is the person that is
Odegaard heights
tasked
a
with
lot.
building
Last
up
season he
your
wasn't
and
hiding
starting
a
your
lot.
play.
Last season he
Odegaard
wasn't
is
hiding
those
a
kind
lot.
of players that when the team is
This
playing
season your
well,
gameplay changed. Last
when
season
the
he
team is
wasn't hiding
playing
a
well,
lot.
you see
no.
Odegaard
Last
because
season
he's
was like
always
you're talking about 2 seasons ago when we're going all out attack.
That one, sorry, yeah, it's 2 seasons ago. The time you guys won Man U, that 3-2 or something like that.
yeah, that exactly.
Yeah, we play
Saka
wing
is
play.
our creative
Our
force.
creation, everything is from the wing, and it's all from Saka.
From Saka, yes,
So
exactly.
I think you guys have been a bit disingenuous when it comes to this Arteta thing because Arsenal is not the only team that is set up.
no, you don't want
No,
us.
no,
You
no, no,
just want
no,
you want us to say
no, no,
what
No, you
you
just
no.
want to
what
buy.
yeah.
You're happy
Arsenal is not
because
the only
you took
team
it as a banter.
that
That's
is
why
set
I
up
said it.
this way, right? I think the idea, I don't know who is the person that started this thing, probably Pep with that Barcelona team, right? The idea is that there's less emphasis on your striker. That shift happened sometime in the 2010s or so. Less emphasis on the striker, more emphasis on the two wingers that are playing left and right, attacking wingers. From the inception of Messi and David Villa, Ronaldo and whoever, when your striker takes a backseat and the people that are scoring goals basically are the wingers. That stuff evolved
But you know what's so ironic about that, Sheuti? Sorry. You know what's so ironic about that? Pep has always had a striker in all the teams he has coached. He had Lewandowski. He had Aguero when he came to City. And then he bought Haaland after one season of not having a striker. So I don't get your point. That's
No,
why
but
he has always had good strikers. So all this part of not
Pep is
playing,
not the only coach now.
Eh, I thought I would buy
why
next
What
season
about
and see
Liverpool?
we
What,
have
what about
strikers next
Liverpool with
season on
Mane and
fire.
Salah on both sides, right? Or the fact that in Madrid, Ronaldo and the winger scored more goals than the striker, right?
Sorry to interrupt. Can you guys hear DJ Pablo very clearly?
Yeah,
I
there's a bit
think
of
no,
he
he's
a
having
to
some
The mic
issues.
is distorting.
vibration.
Yeah.
there's a bit of a thing here.
I think your mic.
The mic, maybe you have to plug it in or something. It's distorting.
Um, but like yeah, there are many other teams like that, right? And I don't think Arteta is crazy to have set up his team around the idea that his attacking wingers will be the most effective players, basically, or the most
Which
direct
which which
players
I
in the
buy.
team. Because there are other teams that go about football that way, and it's not a crazy it's not a crazy idea.
Well, we don't have a good squad. It's so long and short stories. We don't have the
We,
squad.
we
We
don't
don't
have a
have the
good, and I
squad.
never argue the fact that he has to be a striker. I've always said that if you can get goal scoring winger, that's fine. But you cannot just leave your attack bare. That's
Eh,
foolishness. That's I don't know what you're trying to prove, but like getting rid of four attackers and only bringing in one. I don't know what you were trying to prove to the whole
Speaking of
world. I
bare
don't get.
attacks, right, Jude? Like Amorim started this game with Ericsson in my 10 position. Right. Me personally, I don't understand. I like the Van Gaal school of thought. Play the fucking kids, right? Like play Tyler Blackett, play. I don't know if you remember all those kids that Van Gaal used to play that year. Just play
Mm-hmm.
them, basically. Why play Ericsson that we all know
Maxwell Twanzebe.
cannot run? So like I mean, for the rest of the season, no Mainu, no Ahmad. We don't know whether the manager likes playing Chido, but like, how do you see playing out? Do you think we can even get anything out of this Ericsson, Casemiro, Grandpa midfield, or does Amorim need to be braver?
I think it might be our new system though, because I think coming from Sociedad and which other game that we played, it's been like let's hold the ball since we don't have anything up front. Or I feel like he needs to give Chido, just give him more time to play. Since
Since Rasmus is
I
a
don't know
flop.
what's Rasmus' problem at the moment. I don't know.
And confidence. It's all confidence.
Like
Mm.
I used to say, oh, maybe
You know the funny thing,
they
when
are not
people are flopped,
locating
you just
him.
say that it's confidence, confidence.
They are not
People are
locating
flopped.
him. They are not did this.
Bro.
But that ball today, he was trying to do what against Tottenham. He did the same thing. It was obvious that the defender was expecting you to cut. You still went and did the
Mm.
Still
same.
cut.
Sorry, it was shoot.
Yeah.
And the defender was going to slide up. You still went and shot the ball. Why not just cut the ball? The defender will slide and then you can play. Do you understand? Today he was counting how many seconds before this guy cleared the ball. Just play the ball straight up. So me, I feel like Zexin is to that same issue that happened with like the stress that they gave what's his name? This guy that went
Rashford,
to
yeah.
Aston Villa. Rashford. Please
Mm.
let him go and be doing that training too. Let him wake up. That's what I need.
But I think there was a report that came out during the week that Xerxes stays after the training, after practice
No,
to
Zex is
train, keep
fine.
extra.
Zex is
Oh,
fine.
it's Hoyland. Hoyland.
It's Hojland I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So
Hoyland,
I
yeah.
feel
Yeah,
like
it's a pipe.
just
70
like
million euros
Kevin
for
being
him.
there.
That's the truth. The truth about money they fans that money fans like to give players time. You're a pipe, you're a pipe. I
He's
don't know
done
what
almost two
You
seasons
don't
now.
have
how many
any
games
pipe.
you need.
You've seen enough.
How many
I've
games you
seen
need to
I've
know? The
I've
guy
seen
is
some
a
pipes
pipe.
that not
Three
win.
different
I've seen some
managers.
pipes that not
Three
win any
different
trophy in
managers
the
is
last
still
2 years
rubbish.
though.
It's just
I'm
Yes,
not
I've
talking
seen some
about the
pipes that did
pipe,
not win any
the pipe
trophy in the last
issue.
two
I'm not
years.
talking about the pipe issue. I felt like
what was his contribution to the trophy?
This heaven guy,
He scored.
What was
He
his
scored
this heaven
goals.
contribution?
guy would have
You and I
started
talked
some of
about
our
the
What
games.
stats.
was
Like
his
He scored
contribution?
11 goals that season,
Ah,
15 goals
beg you,
overall
beg.
that season,
Exactly that
5
just came
Champions
this
League
season
goals.
and has more
This
goals
year,
than him.
yeah, it doesn't matter. This year he has 5 Champions League goals. Zexi has 1. Hello, have 5 Europa League goals.
Which
Zexi has
Champions League are
1
you talking about? For
Against
Europa
against
League
against
against
one.
who?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's the
That's
thing. Now it's the scene
Against
against
one.
this Manta
goalpost
Man
is
U
shifting
that
now.
Arsenal could not win.
so I still feel like he should give. I think Amorim has an issue with like them being. He has that
I think
mindset that they are teenagers. They're just
I
coming
don't think
from a
so.
young team. I mean
I
it.
thought we got
I feel
Hoyland
like
knows
he
how
has
to
Arsenal
win
that
now.
against
mindset
this big team.
because
Who
there's no
Jordan?
reason why you should tell me that the the movement of Chido, there's something that a striker should do. Even if you're not with the ball, drag players. On Friday, we went to play football. I'm a striker, right? I'm an attacker at a strike. I was the way it was like five aside. So they choked up. The defenders come and choke you up immediately so that they don't pass ball. So what I was doing was like what Zegzi was doing, right? Hold the ball and let somebody run from the side. I lay the ball for you and open up. Do you understand?
But that's not Hoyland's style of play.
That's not it. But we are not playing to your style. Imagine.
No, but
I was
we just
watching
talked
one.
about
I was
playing
watching
to a
one.
player's strength just
I was
now.
watching a podcast, right? Sorry, Henry's this thing. And Henry was saying there was a day he was complaining to Wenger about was it Beckham or somebody
Beckham,
not
yeah.
passing to him. Somebody doesn't pass to him and
Beckham
this
and
and that.
Perez.
And then Wenger now told him, "You are not in his line of sight. That's why he's not seeing you. He can see this person and he passes to this person. Why not you change your gameplay instead
Wenger
of
giving
getting
advice
angry?"
of life,
And he changed his
helping Henry,
gameplay.
helping Salah,
And from then,
Great coach.
he started understanding. The way a striker can work is understand your midfielder. And when you understand your midfielder, then your midfielder
You
can
guys
help
should
you out.
send Hoyland to Wenger, let him advise
Because the
him.
thing about it, Haaland is not big enough for you to change your whole style to please him. No way,
To
sorry.
suit him. And Amorim is
Haaland
not
is
going to
just
You
change
only did that, you
style
only did that
for
for
Haaland.
anybody.
you
Haaland
only
is
did that for
literally
It's
you
not
just
only did
even
that when
about
22.
changing
Ronaldo came
style
back
to
to
suit
when
him.
Ronaldo came back to United. Yes, I understand
Haaland
that
is
one.
Amorim
22
is
as
not going
well.
to change style to suit anybody. That's where the problem is. Amorim is
Haaland is
going to
I
play
mean,
the
24.
the,
Haaland
system.
is
the jury
24.
has to still be out
Haaland is
on
24.
Hoyland.
Yeah, but he's not
Hoyland is
better than him
22.
though.
No, I'm saying what
I
I'm
feel
saying.
I feel
Hoyland
he
is
should give
22.
those
There's
young.
a whole lot
He should
he can still
confidently
learn.
give those
Please,
young
please.
boys
You
some
only
Yeah,
back.
but Haaland was doing it
Haaland is an
exactly.
exceptionally
so what are we talking
talented
about?
person.
The,
Now he can't
Haaland
be
was doing
benchmark.
Haaland was doing it.
Haaland is an exception. You can't go
people
compare.
say, you only
No, no,
bring up the
Alan is
age when they are
exception.
not playing well. If they are playing
No,
well,
no,
you
no,
don't
no.
remember
But
their
I
age.
was
If they're playing
I was
well,
going to clarify. I was going to
because
clarify
when Mendy
Rasmus
was
Hoyland's
last season, nobody was
form.
saying he's only 19. He's
Pe-
only
Duran is
People were
21. Your
saying
Duran
that
is
he's young.
21.
Hold on,
Your
hold
Duran of
on. John
your
Duran is
Duran
playing in Saudi
of
Pro
Aston
League.
Villa.
He's
He's
playing in
playing
Saudi
in
Pro
Saudi
League.
Pro
Yeah,
League now.
but he was doing it in Premiership though.
Hold on,
We all
hold on. Let me
we all know why he went to Saudi
Because
Arabia.
it's
It's
not
not
the
let
because
me
he
same
played in
responsibility.
Premier
clarify.
League.
Not the
He
Let
same
me
did it.
clarify Hoyland.
not the same system, my
Let me
Iberia.
clarify Hoyland.
Not
Let
the
me
same
clarify
system.
Hoyland. Let me clarify Hoyland. Last season, Hoyland scored goals,
Yeah.
right?
How many goals? Sorry, how many
Now,
goals?
He
I think
scored a lot
15.
at some
Is
point.
15 or
He
yeah,
went
all
on injury
How
and
competition.
many
came
goals
back
did
and
he
he
All
was very
score? All
He's
this,
nice.
in all
I don't like all this.
competition.
15, 15.
Baba has good
In
goals
all
now.
competition, 5 in Champions League and 10 in Europe
He had
with
injuries.
England, and he still had injuries. Now,
Under Ten
where
Hag,
I'm going to is that under Ten
yeah.
Yeah.
Hag, what I'm going to say is this: Rasmus Højlund, of those 15 goals he scored, 10 of them he made himself. Which means you made a point where you said that there was a line of sight. It's something about line of sight. I watched another podcast on Rio Ferdinand Presents about Rio Ferdinand interviewed Andrew Cole, and Andrew Cole had a similar spell that Hoyland is having now, and he said what he told someone like Paul Scholes is that in the first 5-10 minutes I'm going to make this kind of run. Find me. Diogo Dalot had a similar opportunity to find him in Real Sociedad, but never did. Turned back, and then Hoyland fought
Because
him.
you don't trust
And then when Hoyland when Hoyland fought him, he spoke back, and fans were like, "Why would you be speaking back? You messed up. You find." And the opposing team, Real Sociedad, brought in a sub player who played as a winger, had similar position, and squared the ball almost immediately, and they nearly scored us. Those are the
Could it be
kind of things
also
we're
be lack
talking
Yeah.
of
about.
trust too? Because when you don't trust your forward too,
Yes, now those
it
guys
could
are
No,
not.
affect your
yes,
Dalot is not a
he has
performance.
small
had
guy
a
now.
bad run of form. Then
But I don't think
Dalo,
Dalo Dalo
because I
Dalo
noticed,
slows down. Dalo can
yeah,
take like 5 seconds
I
before
noticed
he
that
reason.
Bruno Fernandes also tried so many times to find Hoyland in between the lines,
But he's
in
not there.
between the defenders, but it won't work. Now Hoyland is not a in between the line striker. He is the run into space striker. Give it to me, I'll run into space or tap in or anything. The games he scored last season, the games he scored in last season, the games he scored goals in last season is Rashford run.
Even the
Somebody
ball.
just nicked the ball. He got space. He shot. He scored. He made the goal himself. Not that anybody gave him assist, except for even the one against Aston Villa where we were behind, I think, and he scored the equalizer and scored the winning goal.
The ball deflected and came to him. He just touched the second one. This season, the only assist I've seen that he got was against Bodo Glimt, where Mazraoui found him and he controlled the ball and shot and scored. So he is making the goals himself and he's not getting the service. And this has been, in fact, everybody has known for a long time that
Yep.
Man United striking is a graveyard shift
Yep.
for any striker. And he's 22, and you expect him to be the main person that will carry everything for Man United. No, it won't work. For a young player, he came at 20.
That's the Amorim
I,
tax
no, yeah,
that
I feel he needs to develop himself. That's
Yeah,
what most
I
coaches
agree.
do. Most coaches, modern coaches now, they are just looking out for their job. They won't want to come and be developed. They are developing like the system. It's just like
Yeah,
that goal against Everton.
yeah.
Maguire stood there. Maguire is much huger and taller, but Maguire
And
has the perception that if the ball is crossing over him, there's nobody else that can get the
I
ball.
can get it to
And
him.
all of
Yeah,
a sudden,
confidence.
he won't jump. The
Yeah.
opposing team will jump and get the ball and nod it into it. Like that's the problem I have with those players. Like mine is okay. The problem is we just make one lapse in judgment, and
Concentration.
that's either we are attacking and we do that lapse, we lose a chance, and then next thing we concede through that same lapse of judgment. Watch all our games against Bournemouth is the same problem. Against Nottingham Forest is the same problem.
If you remember the Real Sociedad game where they had a corner kick, the only player that was switched on was Dalo at that point because they wanted to play a quick
Yeah,
corner. That's what we're talking about. Same thing. Now we have young players. The truth is, I'm pretty impressed with the signings of young players. I mean, and the truth is, I still back Hoyland to come good eventually, but we need to find him. We need to. Aiden Heaven, that guy is just good young player. Lenioro, good young
Yeah,
player
but how
coming up.
long? My problem is not you have to find him. How long is too much? Because the same thing I have at Arsenal.
But
All
we don't
this
have any striker.
no,
give him time. You're giving him time, but at the same time, the club is
I
dying at
also
the same
feel like
time. You're
I
complaining
also
of goals. United is
No,
not scoring
Arsenal.
of
goals.
No, Man
our striker.
United is a different ball game when it comes to. Don't compare with Arsenal.
No,
Man
you don't
United
get what I'm
playing
saying.
for.
You
If
just said give
Hoyland,
him time. What
if
I'm saying
Hoyland
Pablo,
is
plays,
not give him
if
time.
Hoyland plays for Arsenal, he'll be scoring
Pablo,
goals.
another thing
No
that
pressure.
helped, another thing
Who?
that helped
Hoyland.
Hudland, another thing that helped Hudland and Manu's attack was we now brought in like kind of old strikers to come and coach, like striker coach. So we had this other, what's this dark black guy that played before?
Benny McCarthy.
He started, and
Yeah,
then now we had Mr. Roy. So it was
yeah,
more attacking minded. But this coach
yeah.
now, I don't think he has. I don't
No, he
think he
has.
has.
He
But
has. He has in his
but
assistants.
they are not working, communicating. Like somebody has to tell him. Do you understand? Somebody has to tell him this is what you need to do, and this is what
Yeah,
you need to do.
and I will tell you that they're telling him maybe it's all about application because against Bodo Glimt when he scored that goal, he said the first goal that the manager told him to press on the goalkeeper because they had seen a weakness. So he
But
pressed
that's
on the
in the
goalkeeper, got
game.
deflection.
That's in the game. What if you don't have time? Like today,
No, before the game, he said before the game. That Bodo
he
Glimt
didn't
game, he
start the
said
You're
it.
game.
not playing Bodo Glimt
I thought
every
he
week.
came in
You're
as
not playing
sub.
Bodo Glimt every week.
No, he started.
Okay,
You're
Remember
not
okay,
playing,
first
okay,
you're
half?
not
okay.
playing
Sorry,
Bodo
they
Glimt
messed up
every
the
week.
Yeah,
game.
Sorry,
That's
you are
why.
yeah.
playing Bournemouth. You are playing Everton. You are
So
playing.
that's
So Premier
No,
League
we're
is
playing
different from
Arsenal. No,
Europa League.
let's not move away from
Yeah, he didn't score. He didn't do
Arsenal.
shit
This
against
Arsenal.
Arsenal. So, okay, you're
He,
playing
had-
Arsenal.
he came
Yes,
only he played only 18 minutes.
okay. He played the
Please,
first leg. He
only
didn't do
18.
shit. He
Yeah.
played the first
I'm
leg. He didn't
telling
do
you
shit.
that
So
if
it's
Chido
not
had
about
played that
just
18 minutes,
Arsenal.
18
It's
minutes
the league.
Chido will have more body movement with the ball,
Me,
and
I understand. The
like
truth is, I'll defend Amorim, but I understand why Amorim is not putting those young players in that situation.
Just accept
I,
that your players are
I think no.
that's the same thing I told you.
sell
See,
him.
No,
Sell him when
my
you can
manager
get
is
the
not crap.
value. You got him for 60 million. If you sell him now, maybe you can get like 30 million.
We're not
It's
going to
not
we're
sell
not going to
Oilon.
sell
We're
him.
not going to sell
okay.
Oilon. Leave it.
He will come
The
on.
building of this squad is from
We'll
see.
come back
no, but
next season. We'll see say the same
can't
thing.
have it
He
both
will
There
ways.
was
come
something I
on.
was going to say.
That's
There
the
was
issue
something I was
with
going
this
to say. We were
building of
talking about
squad. Who are we
Amorim.
building the squad for? The same players. The same players
Okay, now
that we're all saying
Good
are not good
question.
enough.
no, now I know I'm going to clarify it because Amorim's first season in Sporting, when they had issues, Sporting was in the mud and everything. He let go of 25 players. This has been researched. He let go of 25 players, got young players from the academy, and some experienced free signings. Right?
And remember that he also said that the target for Man United is to win the league. You think that the
I don't
Ineos is
understand.
motivating
Like,
to sell every player and start building
No. But
in
that's
that
the
sort of
actual.
close
Sporting is
Like
and
like
now,
that
Sporting is
like
it's not
now,
easy.
six
Manchester
players in the
United,
squad.
like in terms of the size of the club.
That's what I'm saying. Six players in the club are out of contract at the end of the season. So that's already 6 spots open automatically.
Yeah,
Lindelof
but
out of contract. Johnny Evans, Christian Eriksen. There's so many players.
People that
but
will
you know that
never
he's not going to be playing the 6 of them, though. You know that, right?
No, but obviously that's why we have
And
an
at least
academy.
at
it
least
frees up.
two
That's why we have a
two
thriving
will give
academy
extended contract because it's better
doing
to
well
keep
in the
them than
Premier
to
League
sell them.
too, and the FA Youth Cup against Arsenal doing well too. We have an academy,
Okay.
right?
So he's going to
And why
promote
are you
from the
signing
academy.
Arsenal Academy players now if you have academy?
You say why we signing Arsenal academy players?
Ah,
You see,
If
to
you have
add to our
academy.
that's
academy
what
now.
Bayern Munich does in German league. I'm not complaining. We poach them when they are all Man U fans. That's the good thing about all of that.
Excuses.
Check
Yeah.
Chido Obi. He
Like,
didn't play long in Arsenal. Check Eddie Heaven. He played
is it
in
like
Did you not
another
see how
club
Heaven
before
was
coming
ginger
to
today?
Arsenal.
After that clearance.
Bro.
Yeah, because he's playing against Arsenal now. You'll be gingered against
It's
your
going
former
to be
club.
out, bro.
ah,
I don't
I wish they played
so
Chidobe. You would have seen a different
Me,
type of.
we just
Look, you
Ah,
guys, you do it. That's why I don't know. I don't. You guys are talking as if you are playing Leicester defense. You
Arsenal
can
has
banter
Leicester
us going
defense now.
forward. You can
Arsenal has
banter
Leicester
from
defense
but
now.
from midfield backwards, you cannot
Yes,
see anything
they've forgotten FA Cup when
because Rice had
Joshua
all your
Zexi
midfield in the
turned
pocket.
them
I mean,
inside out.
But
They have
anyway,
lost
is a
Joshua
100
Zexi didn't
million.
play as a 10
The FA,
today.
the FA Cup that
The Rice is
Fulham
a
removed
100
you, Abi.
million pound player.
Yeah.
the same way Fulham removed you.
It's
We
even
are the
better
same.
we beat.
I'm just
We are the
saying
same
that you
boat
guys
right
will
now.
put
We
some
are both
respect
out
on
of the
your
competition,
players.
so
That's
we can't talk about FA Cup again. We are
It's
both
even
out of it.
better when we talk about beating Arsenal. I've played Arsenal 3 times this season.
ah,
I've lost to Arsenal, I've beaten Arsenal, and I've drawn to Arsenal. So
no,
you
no,
can't. You have
no,
nothing on
no,
me.
no. You lost now. You won on penalties.
I want you
Wait,
wait,
You
matter.
the word
beat
there, the key
Arsenal
word there is
because
one. The
So
key
the
word there
One
is
three
one.
penalty.
wait, I want
And
you
knock
wait,
Arsenal
matter.
out.
Because the 3 points we have, it don't use to win league. So
Your
the
3
FA
points.
Cup,
When
you use it to win anything. The FA Cup,
I used
we are
to
the same stage as I am now, right now.
Just to wrap
I
it
We are
up
That's
both
no
on
problem.
next week. We are
Do
going
you think?
we are going to be playing the Premier League. Whether others are playing
Yeah,
the FA Cup, so we are the same
but
boat.
do you think? But do you think that you have a chance to win a trophy this season, Arsenal?
do
No,
you?
no. The moment you went out of
We have the same chances as you.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
no, we don't have the same
Eh?
chances. Though.
Okay,
No.
beat your heart now. Tell me
Who
you're
is
winning
the
Europa League. Say it.
who is the biggest
it's not
Say
that
it.
team
deep
in the
now.
Europa League
I
this
don't, I
season?
don't
Say it.
understand
Say
now.
no, no.
Like,
I don't even want to know. That's my point. That's my point. That's you are making
what
you are
was
making
bigger
my
than
Tottenham,
point
deep?
for me.
Tottenham.
You are making my
But
point for
they
nothing.
lost to AZ Alkmaar now.
But I'm making my point
Bro,
for me,
the
DJ.
manager
DJ, you're
said
making
you're
your
in
point. You're making
survival
my
mode.
point
You are
for me
saying that.
because
We're not
there's
on
no
the
big
same
team in
boat.
Europa League. But say with your chest now that
We're
United is
not
going to
That's
win
what
it.
he's saying.
Now we can
in
beat
my
That's
them.
what he's
chest.
saying. The
I'm saying
chances
with
are not
chest,
similar now.
we will
He
win
just said
the
the
Europa
same thing.
League
The
with
chances are
chest.
not
Okay,
similar.
hey
Even if
guys,
we have to, even if clip it,
keep
even
it.
if we have to, even if we have to scam our
That's
way,
Under
so nah.
crawl our
You
way,
can't knock
we
a
win
guy's
that
Pablo,
hope,
Europa
right?
League.
You can't knock his belief.
Pablo, please. Under Amorim, you learn not to make mouth.
No,
He
under
goes
Amorim,
back to
You,
the
back.
you,
truth
you,
is,
dude, do you
the
share the
truth
same?
is,
Do you share the
I'm
same?
not like Man United fans that will turn on the manager at the slightest
No, it's
opportunity.
not about turning on the
I'm
manager. It's about making mouth for the manager.
No,
Like,
it's not.
no, I'm
It's
make
not
man for
turning
the
you
on
don't
I'm
manager.
make
make
man
sure
for
It's
the
that
just
man.
you
that
win league,
you
That's
don't.
win
kind
the
of
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
competition.
ridiculous,
Oh.
bro,
right?
I'm
Like,
looking
you
at
like
bro, I'm looking at the injury. Like I look at the lineup, I'm looking at the injury list.
So,
Bro, the injury list is a whole squad.
But this injury we're
but how
talking
do you
about,
think
when
you
you guys
can
had a
win the
full team,
Europa with
you
like,
guys were
that
still
injury
losing.
list?
We're
No,
losing.
no,
Come
it
on.
was not that bad. It
no,
was not
no,
as
but like,
bad.
How do
Against
you think
Bournemouth,
you can
It's a
win
Bournemouth.
full
the
squad.
Who was
Europa
missing against
when you are
Bournemouth,
finding
please?
it hard to score?
When you lost
You want
3-0
me,
to Bournemouth at home, who
you
was
want me to
missing?
go and check your Bournemouth fixture so that I'll tell you how he went?
That was a way. Oh. We are talking about
I
Bournemouth at
still,
Old Trafford, though. And I
Old
had a
yeah,
man
Trafford
sent down.
it,
I had
it
a
was
man
a
sent
given.
out.
ah,
It is a given. You are using the red card. It is a given that we have a bad home record. We
Oh,
had a poor
that is home record
this
you're
season.
blaming.
No, this
I
season,
That's
this
don't
what you're
season we
understand.
blaming.
have a
same
A
goal
poor
bad, a
home
now.
bad
No, I
home
record.
don't know
record
why
is not
you're
all that
shouting.
Matter.
matters.
You guys are the worst Man United
But
team ever. And
I'm also going
yes,
to
you
add
are.
that Ruben Amorim's style of play. What is key in Ruben's style of play is the center halves, the three ball-free centre backs. They must be ball-playing centre back.
Playing
Control.
sideways.
No, not sideways. Lisandro Martinez has been since Lisandro Martinez has been injured. We've not had
We had
proper
Lisandro.
control
We had
of
Lisandro
But he
anything.
got it
for a
against
good
Palace now. He got it
70%
against Palace like 3 games
Amorim's
ago.
tenure so far.
Why would you see if he got injured since the beginning of season? He just got injured.
Who
Lisandro.
got
Got injured
injured?
As
after we
Martinez, he got
tested
injured against
him.
Palace. Against
Got
Palace.
injured
That's when he got
Injured
in
after
injured.
we
January.
tested
In
him.
January, I said
No,
George.
last month,
January.
February. When did you play
Look,
Palace? Last month.
this
You're
is
a
Out
man.
for a season.
Yeah, but he played
This
them in
Amorim
March. He played
conversation,
them in
right?
February,
Right, like
sorry, not March.
No, no, he's been out
He
since
just,
January.
but he was
When
available
did you
for
say
the
January.
sort
it's against Crystal
of
Palace? He
Amorim's
got injured,
tenure,
right?
and
Against
we
Crystal
lost
Palace.
comprehensively still with Martinez part of the team, right? This idea that like you just say
Exactly.
you
So
can't
I
just
don't get
say
this
no,
No,
whole
no, no,
dude,
no,
you
no.
can't just say we've
The
had
first
bad
leg
home
against
form,
Arsenal,
right? You can't just say
Lisandro
we've
was
had
there.
bad home form.
against
So
We've
Bournemouth
lost
when they
lots of
lost.
games at
Against Bournemouth,
home,
he was there too. Against Bournemouth, he was
as if
there.
it's lightning that struck us
so
or could not just fell on somebody's head. These are like
No, now.
losses that are brought on by bad decision making by the manager, right? We are in shit basically because the manager is failing at his job. The idea that like we can just have a blank check basically that regardless of what happens this season, right, we can just keep losing games because that's the premise. What is being set up here that we can just keep losing games. Not only are we losing, but we're losing in quite a comprehensive way. So everybody looks good against us. Southampton looks very good against us. Ipswich looks good against us. No matter the team that we're playing against, except Arsenal, everybody else that we played basically has looked super against us.
Man City,
And he
please.
got injured the 2nd of February, this last month, like I said.
No,
that's
but
pretty much
Martinez,
what,
January already. That's pretty much Jan now. It's like
they
yeah,
are
but it
January.
doesn't
saying,
That's
matter
for a
now.
whole
But
No,
he
year.
was there
the
no,
when
what they
Amorim
are
took
saying,
over, and he got still lost.
when
So I
we
don't get
came,
the whole
no,
Martinez
the
crap.
issue, Jude,
Dr.
is that
Toof said
when does it change?
he was
When
there
when does
when
it change, right? Because we're,
that's
we're,
what I'm
we're we're
explaining
going
to
into
you.
a new
That he
season.
Change
was
what? What
there.
is he changing?
No,
What's he
when
changing?
does the results change? When do we get to the
Oh,
end of the
I,
recipe that he's cooking, right? Because he's cooking something.
I
Something
believe
is no the
I
premise
believe
of
it's
what
going to be
Amorim is
It's a
promising
new
us right
season.
now is that we should be patient with the bad
New
results
season.
it's
because
cooking.
in the future there is
New
something
season.
good
Yes,
that is
that is
coming.
cooking.
So I'm asking, when will this food be ready?
Season.
Basically, right?
A new
I think it's
season.
beginning of next
When he
season.
gets sacked.
I
What I will
think.
tell you is that this shirt you're putting on, you swap it with that one on your screen next season. Just
With
trust
no,
me.
I know I'm
You
I'm,
swap it
I'm
next season. Just believe. The only thing I need from the board is to back him up. That's
I
what
say
I'll tell
back
you.
him
Back
now.
him up with
Back him
correct
now.
players. I did not say just go and buy
No, no, no.
anybody.
I don't like this enough of
Back
correct
him
players.
up.
The board
No,
is going to give him money. He chooses the players he buys. So don't say
No,
correct
he's not the
players.
one choosing the player. Man
no,
United
but
doesn't operate
even
that
if
way anymore.
No, no,
Just
no.
so you know.
no,
But he
We
has
ha-
a hand in it though. He's going to
no,
have a
no.
700
hand.
We have a
million.
recruitment
If
specialist who
It
if
doesn't
recruited
matter.
if
for
wait,
the
The
system.
coach,
hold on,
the
guys.
coach
Christopher
still has a
Bissell.
Yes,
say.
Wait,
I
wait,
want
wait.
to.
it's very obvious. It's very
The
obvious
coach
that
still has a
this
say.
is system
He's a
works
system
against
manager.
this is system works against big teams because they come at us, we absorb and we counter.
No, but that's
But
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now.
small things play
But that's how you
differently.
guys have been playing too now.
Now
No.
what?
Leave this
Counter
But
Amorim
attack.
defender.
there's nothing new about
Yeah,
defending
Small
against
things,
big teams. About defending and playing on the counter against
no,
big
There's
teams.
but
exactly.
nothing
small
new
teams
now. I mean, if you forgot it, Arsenal
against
played well last
Arsenal would
season.
have played
When
ball now.
They played
it's
Against
2-0.
Arsenal
always
would have
the,
played
the
ball.
beauty of
It's from Ten Hag that the system changed though. Against Arsenal would have been playing ball. Under
no, but
Solskjaer were
the,
playing.
the beauty of the
We're
beauty
playing
of making fun of
attacking
Arsenal is
now.
always that you guys have the ball, but you have all the possession, but we score the goals, right? That's a cliche, a long running, well
But
Exactly.
it
established
won't be
procedure.
that much possession. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. It was Ten Hag that changed all this thing. He
No,
come and be
sorry,
I
defending.
I'm
forgot it.
sorry.
We're
That's
on
a
that
lie.
Ten Hag for 2 years,
That's a
two and
lie.
a half years.
See,
Under Arteta has been there since when
my
Solskjaer was the coach. He has a good
Mhm.
record over Man U.
my
That's what I
biggest
give
fear.
Arteta for. His record against Manchester,
It's
especially
not about
Manchester.
record. He's saying possession and this thing. I'm
That's
not
what
talking
I'm
about
saying. What are you
the
talking
goal line.
about?
Arteta pressing
Arteta does
us
not have a very good
70
record
30
over
under
against Man U.
Solskjaer.
He
When
I
it
does.
can
comes
put it.
on,
I can put
I'm
it up
looking
for
You've
at
not
it.
been
you.
you've,
No,
I
I'm
you've
can
not
looking.
put it
beaten
up.
I'm
us
He
looking
against
at
does.
it.
check.
I'm
He
looking at
does.
it.
Mike,
You've
come
not
on,
been
he
you've
does.
not
He
beaten us
does.
as the
I'm
Emirates.
January,
very sure because it's something I bragged about. Show
wait
team, I
now.
Yes.
bragged about it because I'm
You've
sure
not
of it.
beaten us at the Emirates
To
under
September.
to wrap
under
up the
Arteta.
Amorim
That one
And
conversation,
is
also
right.
right?
we've
September
won fun at Old
2019.
Trafford under
Old Trafford 1-1. January
no, it's
2020
we
2-0 Emirates. Wait now. November 2020 1-0 Emirates.
Okay.
Arsenal 1. 0-0 2021.
November
Okay.
2020. Okay, yes, yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Arteta
1-0.
was appointed 2019.
The-
So start from then.
That's what I
Yes,
started.
yes, yes.
You didn't hear
Okay.
when I said
How
2019.
many
I
wins
said
so
20.
far have you counted? How many wins?
I'm counting now. 1-1 first game 2019.
Okay.
January
Which
2020 2-0 1 win. Arsenal
Arteta
Okay.
started
at
December
home.
16, 2019.
So
Yes.
that means that one was Unai Emery. Then the
Yes.
first game was at home
And we won
on
2-0. Pepe.
2-0. Yes. Then November 1st, 2020. That is the new
1-0.
season.
We won
1-0.
1-0. So
Then
that's 2 wins now. Okay.
yeah, 2 wins. Then in 2021, 0-0. Then December 2021, 3-2, Man United at home.
Okay. So 2-1. That's 2-1.
Yeah.
Then 2022, that's when
Okay.
we had Den Haag. 3-1.
Who won Arsenal, right?
Arsenal.
So 3-1.
Then September 2022, 3-1, Man United at
3-2.
home.
Okay. 3-2.
Okay. Then January 2023, which is just very recent, 3-2 Arsenal, Emirates.
4-2.
July 2023. Okay, that's preseason. So let's move on from that one. Then September 2023, 3-1
Who
Arsenal.
won?
Arsenal.
That's 5-2 now.
So this one now is Den Haag. We've left Social.
Bro,
Well,
it
But
doesn't matter.
so he has a better record over Social. Because if it's that, we have
No, he doesn't have it.
What are
we have
what are we
2-0 now.
adding
We
here
counted
now?
it
Wow.
first 2-0 now.
2-1. What I'm trying to tell you is that whether
This
you
Amorim
like
defender
it,
is taking this show, DJ Pablo. We understand. You love Amorim.
No,
Next season
no.
is
Yeah, but
great.
all
All of
of
us
doesn't
will
matter,
start
bro.
this
The
new season
biggest
together.
concern with Amorim, right? So just put the field of the conversation is that he ends up he starts next season the way Ten Hag started this season, where they've backed him like Jude is saying, right? They've given him everything he wants, and now
yeah,
we're like, okay, let us see, because you failed woefully in your first season, and I don't care what anybody tells me. This is Amorim's first season. This is not like a free hit. If big
Yes.
time, you failed woefully in this season, so they've given you everything you want. Now let's watch you in the next season. If after the first 10 games it doesn't look like anything is changing or is different, that just puts unnecessary pressure basically on the manager.
for me, if they want to sack him, then they can sack him. After 10 games and no result, they can sack him. But for now,
No, but what are we doing
All I
here
would
that's
say
now?
is that
the same
Right?
thing.
Like,
No,
all I,
but
all I will
think
say
about
is that
it. Beginning of the
United
season,
fans
they
are
said
going to
back
screw
Ten
up
Hag.
Liverpool.
Wait now, they said back Ten Hag. We signed 5 players. Back Ten Hag, they will back Amorim. They will back
Yeah, that's
Amorim.
fine. That's fine. But my only
But
point is
the
that
but the but the
Amorim
problem,
played today.
the challenge with signing those players is they didn't sign those players for Ten Hag.
They
Those,
signed system players.
most
System.
players, they just bought players for the system,
Around
not players that you
System.
would have actually.
And that's what will happen with Amorim. System players.
yeah, so
That's
we
what will
can
happen. They'll sign
His
system
job is to
players.
That's
get
why
the
he's
best out
building
of
the
them now.
system. So
we
if
can
you buy
wrap up.
system players, they fit into the system.
You
But
said what's the question you asked? You said is Dogu what?
He's
No,
going to. He's going. He
leave
has
them
to
to
get the
please,
best out
please.
of them now. That's it. He has to get the
Yeah,
best out of
no,
them.
is system players. Don't worry.
Please,
He,
anyway,
he
I
has
just
to.
want to say
He has to get the best.
congrats to Liverpool because they've won because
I mean,
now you still have chance now. It's
I
15
just give
points.
them
God,
just
God,
give
God of
them the
honor. God of
title.
honor.
15 points with
Like
one game in hand. Don't give up now.
let's just talk about the Champions League
No, Johnny Boy,
15
we
points
already
with one game in hand.
1 hour
and
in.
Europa
We
League.
have to. Well, I have to.
yeah. What are okay? No, the last one. What are our chances of going to the next round?
No,
So
actually,
who
no,
we always
let's not say winning the competition because we are already into the next round. We cannot agree that Arsenal is into the
No,
next round.
no. This guy has so much faith now in
No, we'll beat
Amorim. It's not
Sociedad. It's our home. It's Europe. We'll beat Sociedad.
Okay.
No,
That's a lot.
2-0.
No, but he has already staked his chest. Said United is winning Europa League, so I like that. So he has said that.
We will win
He said that already.
Sociedad 2-0 in Old Trafford. They will come and they will be suppressed by Take Me Home.
Old Trafford is even your worst place to go to.
No, in Europe, not our worst place. So we'll win them. Don't worry.
I think it was
At
Paul
least
that was saying that the Sociedad team right now is just shite.
they are crap now.
That coming to Old Trafford that is even wider and bigger. It's going to be tough. It will be tough for them.
You know, did you
But
watch the game? The camera was literally very low to almost eye level.
it's not even that problem. That's not my problem. My problem is which man is going to turn up in that first half. That's the main decider of the game.
That's in the first half of the game, right?
The first half of the
I
game.
agree.
Because
I agree with you.
you can have something where
And
Onana will
that's
just decide
Europa League.
to.
Okay.
Onana will decide to. That's why I cannot make mouth again.
So, what I'm going to add is if Sociedad played exactly the way they played last Thursday, and you guys play exactly the
They're
way you
gonna
played
win.
last Thursday, Sociedad is winning. That's all I'm
How
going
did
to say.
Sociedad winning?
I'm not going to
We will
argue
not
with
play.
you.
We
That's
will
all.
not play exactly. We will not play. We'll beat Sociedad. I'm not shaking about that one.
Our Mayu chances
Looking
of
at
winning
Show's
Europa League
face.
are
Look
as
at
big as
Sheo.
Arsenal winning Champions League.
Sheo is different.
We are both not going to win. We are both going to win in Europe. So that's the fact. Just
Yeah,
accept.
you're trying to drag me to your Netflix FC.
No, please
We will win
speak for
Sociedad.
You're
yourself.
not winning Europa League now. Why are
Speak
you
for
like?
yourself now. Speak for
Unbeaten,
yourself.
unbeaten, unbeaten record continues. We'll be
I
Sociedad.
think we
Okay,
can.
speak for
I
Wait
yourself.
think we
now, leave
can
nowhere.
win, right? And like I predicted, I predicted that
We'll
Arsenal
beat
would have an
Sociedad.
easy time against PSG, right? Because you guys, that's what you do.
Mm.
But like I said, also the moment you face Madrid, either of the Madrids, anybody that is a
Which
serious team,
which
they
also
start
team
going
Bro,
as
straight.
well. Which also
But this
team as
kind of
well.
PSV is okay.
Yeah.
As far as mine is concerned,
Which
this
have
same
accepted.
question that Jude has, it depends on the team that turns up, who turns up that day. For me, it's more on the first half because the Mumu gene, it's just I just know that like if Sociedad come to play, if they show any type of personality, any type of character, we're done for. Because this is a team
Yeah,
of, and the manager has already called them the worst team in history. So like there's not much to expect. But yeah,
I think the team now is more like misfits. They're just
I'm
playing
confident we win Sociedad.
different
I'm hopeful.
positions. If Sociedad shows character like they played, they'll probably take the
Yeah.
game. If they show that first half character that they showed against Man U, they'll probably take the game. They were just now. I just feel like Sociedad, the way they are now, it's like 70-30 Man U is going to win. But I'm just keeping that 30 because of some players in that team that will decide no.
We'll be there now. did,
We'll
did
beat
DJ say
Sociedad.
that winning Europa League? We'll be there.
We'll beat
When we want to
Sociedad.
beat, you know what's so funny is they might survive Sociedad, but
Right now, right now, right
I
now
want
they're
to see
even
them
drawing.
against a smaller team. That's where because
But
against
there's
a
no.
smaller team now. The one I mean smaller team, I mean a team that United expected to beat. That's what I mean a
Uh,
smaller team.
I don't think we're going to face any of the after this round of 16. We're not going to face any team that we expect to beat. Every team is going to be there. As in, United is probably going to be there for the taking for any team
No,
when
but
it
I ended
comes
the one that
to
just said that we're a big team, that we're the
But you
biggest
say
team
you're winning, so it doesn't
that
matter
is
though.
left.
You're winning Europa League, so it doesn't matter.
I think the team that would have given us that would give us a problem in the Europa League will probably be Lazio. Apart from that, Tottenham have already lost to AZ, and you know
No, but
Tottenham can
Tottenham is going to
Lazio,
win
capitalize when they
second
want to.
leg now. We all know that. They're going
They
to
will
win second
they
leg.
will capitalize. They will capitulate. They will capitulate. I'm sure of that.
The Tottenham that
The only
the Bournemouth,
eh?
the Tottenham that just played this weekend,
Bro,
they
they
are
will
going out.
Yeah,
capitulate.
but just like
There's
you said, they're also good in Europe. When they try at home at Europe, they are good.
there's
Tottenham is good at
Atletico,
home.
a good team. Roma, Lazio topped the group at the beginning. You know, I don't see anything with Olympiacos. Bodo Glimt is beating Olympiacos already. Lyon, FCSB already beating Lyon. I mean, I don't see any challenge. Like
No, Lyon is
literally,
actually beating them. Sorry, 3-1.
Lyon beat FCSB
Yeah.
3-1.
no,
Okay,
but that's my
okay.
issue now, right? With
Then I mean,
Amorim super defenders, you guys want to have it both ways. You want to both say that on paper our team is better than all these teams, but at the same time our team is not good enough for us to really expect anything from them when it comes down to it. Okay,
I'm
I was going
not
to say
saying
something
your
about.
team is better. I've always said the team is full of misfits. So when we get the perfect fit, we can now start judging Amorim. For now, let's just manage our season since the coach doesn't want to change system.